You know, I have talked a lot of shit about the Galaxy Fold, and as you know, the last couple days, there's been a lot of videos about the device. More YouTubers are getting their hands on it, so I just waited. I wanted to give it a fair shot. I thought maybe after I saw more of the device, my opinion would change. It did not.
Want daily tech news in a way that doesn't suck?
Of course you do.
Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Front Page Tech, of course, show that gives you all latest tech news from one geek, that is me, to another, that is you. Happy day. What day is it? It's Wednesday, it's hump day, but it's not just a normal hump day, no, it's Brian's birthday! Yay, birthday burn! As you know, Brian is the other half of Front Page Tech, the editor of this very show. Go down in the comment section below and wish him a happy birthday. I'll make sure he reads them all, and if you're really interested, I'll leave a link to his Twitter down in the description below. Go tweet him, bug the shit out of him today. All right, so first up, story numero uno for the day. Let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Now, you might have noticed I didn't talk about it right away. When the videos were coming out the last couple days, I waited my turn. I really wanted to absorb the information and see more of the device, but I still feel the same, so we're gonna do this in two parts. First part, that crease though. This looks fucking terrible. There is no way around this crease. I like how after we initially started seeing issues and seeing a crease in the middle of the display, people were just jumping on, trying to defend it like, no, this is just pre-production hardware. It's not gonna be what everyone else gets. Well, bitches, you was wrong. It is sure as hell in the production devices. In fact, it's there right away as soon as you unbox the device. Like maybe some people thought it just happens after thousands and thousands of folds. Nah, it just comes that way. It comes fucked up. And my favorite people are the ones going, well, of course you can see it when the screen's off. You can't even tell when you turn up the brightness. Just turn up the brightness, and you can't even see it. Yes, because this is definitely your problem as the consumer to have to fix. Oh, and by the way, here it is. Screen on, brightness up, crease is still there. Listen, I could shit on my hand and rub that shit all over my TV, but if I turn up the TV bright enough, I might not see it. I don't care what you say, the crease is bad. It's just bad. But okay, I've said what I needed to say about the crease. Now, let's just move on. Let's just talk about the product. Let's talk about the concept. Let's break the character real quick. You're not getting the character Jern, not the yelly, screamy, ranty Jern. This is just me, John Prosser, talking to you. So hear me out. Let's take it easy and let's actually talk about this. If you've heard me talk about foldable phones before, you're gonna be familiar with what I'm about to say. The concept of this is flawed. Not the execution of the device, the actual concept of the device. I get how when the Note came out initially, it scared people, they weren't used to it, they were afraid to change. So they poo-pooed it. But the concept for the Note wasn't flawed at all. The concept for foldable phones, though, is flawed for the mass market. It's just not practical. It is amazing, cool technology, and it might be practical for us, for you, the people watching this show. But the average consumer is not subscribed to this YouTube channel. I've said that time and time again. So listen, I want to clarify. I do think this technology is the future. The technology is. This concept is not. I get it. You probably think I'm just being really narrow-minded and you're not willing to hear what I have to say, but I'm just asking you to hear me out, okay? I have been covering the market for years. I'm not as narrow-minded as you think. In my opinion, a much better use for this technology is to make bigger things more portable. Give me a tablet that I can fold. And I know you're pulling your hair out over there. Just give me a second. I know you think I'm probably crazy for saying foldable phones are not practical, but foldable tablets are. What I'm saying is the focus needs to be on consumer expectations and meeting the expectations of the demographic. The people buying smartphones, they don't want an overcomplicated experience. They don't need the phone to fold out just because, you can do more. Look at all the things you can do. I mean, sure, some people probably do. Mostly people like you, somebody like me, but not the average consumer. If I was wrong about this, the iPhone would not be the top-selling individual smartphone year over year. It's not overwhelming, and it doesn't get in the consumer's way during simple tasks. If you give a foldable tablet to consumers who already do want to do more with their device, that's why they're buying a tablet, and you just make that less intrusive, more portable, now we're talking. In fact, Samsung already has a patent. They're already working on a concept for a tablet that folds. And I am all about that. Hell, even a foldable gaming experience would be amazing. We saw that with the Huawei Mate X, which is obviously Huawei's foldable phone, but that was like, hey, look, this is a reason why foldable phones are the future. This is cool, right? And it is cool, but that's just one use case. I think foldable tech like that for a gaming experience would be amazing. Bring this concept to an area where the technology can actually lend itself to a truly remarkable experience. Meeting expectations is what sells products. Solving problems for a demographic is what solves products. A kinda sometimes more portable of a phone that is already very portable is not solving the problem. It's not solving any problems. In fact, for most people, it's just gonna get in the way. Again, I know that you guys probably don't agree with me about any of this, and that's fine. I make this show for you, but one of my biggest goals in this show is to tell you how the market works, to speak for the average consumer in front of a crowd of people that are not the average consumer. I get that you guys can probably find very specific use cases or why you think it's amazing, and that's great. This product is for you. But I just don't see it being a thing for the mass market. I want to be wrong about this. I want to clarify. I want to be wrong about this. But I don't think I am. We kind of only have time for one more story today, so second story, last story of the day, let's talk about Apple and Qualcomm. For years, Apple and Qualcomm have been battling in court. Qualcomm wanted to charge Apple a royalty fee based on its overall cost for each device sold. This is all over modem chipsets in the iPhone. Well, Apple didn't want to pay that fee, so they've been going back and forth. Because of this, Apple has started to shift to using Intel modems in the phones. And this week in court, Apple was looking to really damage Qualcomm's business. But then yesterday, out of nowhere, something kind of crazy happened. Apple and Qualcomm reached a settlement agreement. In fact, they have both agreed to dismiss all legal litigations between each other. No more court battles, none of that. And on top of all that, this includes a payment from Apple to Qualcomm. So all of a sudden, Apple is going to pay Qualcomm an undisclosed amount of monies. And on top of that, they have reached a 6-year license agreement, effective as of April 1st of this year, including a 2-year option to extend and a multi-year chipset supply agreement. So now Apple's going back to using Qualcomm chipsets, especially for 5G phones. Okay, but wait a second. After years of battling and fighting in court back and forth, Qualcomm trying to get iPhones banned in certain countries, Apple trying to damage Qualcomm's business, it all just stops. And it's not because the court decided this. This is a settlement agreement. Apple decided to cave. But why? Well, you might remember reports like a couple weeks ago, we covered it on this show, where it seemed that Intel was not going to be able to supply enough 5G chips fast enough for Apple. And that in turn would push back the 5G model of the iPhone back from 2020, next year, to 2021. Well, then after that, Intel themselves came out and basically made fun of this report. All cocky and condescending like, Intel put out a statement that says, as we said in November of 2018, Intel plans to support customer device launches in 2020 with its XMM 8165G multi-mode modem. So basically, fuck you, f the reports. You don't know what you're saying. We are ready for 5G. We will be a part of this. Yeah, well, it turns out that was not true, because also yesterday, out of nowhere, Intel decided to exit the 5G phone business. They have decided to completely leave and instead focus their efforts more on 4G and 5G modems for PCs and smart home devices. Because according to them, quote, it has become apparent that there is no clear path to profitability and positive returns. What? So they just put out a statement like last week mocking everyone, saying they wouldn't be ready, and now all of a sudden they just decided to peace out. They don't give a fuck. They're out. They are out of here. They can't do it. So I'm calling it now. That is exactly why Apple had to just say, shit, and just decide to settle with Qualcomm. They don't have a choice. This is basically them turning around and going, we were just kidding. You're not that bad after all. So I can imagine Qualcomm just laughing it up right now. I would love to know the number, that undisclosed payment. I would love to know what exactly Apple had to pay to Qualcomm in this settlement. But Qualcomm's doing just fine. Yesterday, their stock shot up by a massive amount because of this multi-year agreement. This is best case scenario for Qualcomm. Man, I gotta be honest, it kind of feels good to have to see Tim Cook put his tail between his legs and accept defeat here. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below. This was best case scenario for Qualcomm, and Apple is stuck in this abusive relationship. And that's the show. Hopefully you liked it, you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you hate my stupid face, hit the dislike button. If you're new here, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.